Hello. Clearly way off. That's the plan. I'm not done yet. That could have been cute. I'm excited about it. I'm a little nervous. Hi, hello. We are doing a dedicated project vlog today. I've never done that actually, but now's the time, I guess. So I have a very exciting box to share with you. Kelburn Woolens kindly gifted me some new yarn, and it is from a new line of yarn that they're carrying in their shop. The brand is KREMKE, and I got Merry Merino 70. So their Merry Merino line comes in a variety of weights, which is pretty cool. I got these colors, classic me getting blue and brown. It's my favorite color combo right now, and I just can't stop. I can't be stopped. I got 5 balls of each. These are 50-gram balls. They are 70 meters per 50 grams. This is 100% merino wool. It's super soft to the touch. It's also organic. I did not know that. That's amazing. And this is an Aran weight yarn. So you get 70 meters per 50-gram ball. I got 5 of each color. And my plan is to do a vertical stripe pillow. I have this pretty large pillow I just grabbed from my apartment. It has a pillow cover currently, but you know what? I'm kind of tired of it and I would love to make my own. The other pillowcase was just a store-bought pillowcase, nothing special. I'm excited to make something unique and kind of, exactly what I want it to be. Now, I did go on Ravelry and research patterns to make this pillowcase. I was open to the idea of just following a pattern, but I think this could be a good challenge for myself to finally self-draft. I'm excited about it. I'm a little nervous. I'm going to take you through this process, and hopefully at the end we end up with a beautiful pillow. I already did a gauge swatch. Let me talk you through the idea of these stripes because I'm feeling pretty particular about how I want them to look, and there's an easy way and a hard way, and I'm gonna go the hard way is basically what I'm saying. So if you take a closer look at the swatch, you see the stitches are going up and down, and actually this is the correct way. So this swatch is an intarsia swatch. So you can see how it's kind of connected up the middle. And that process was actually quite easy to knit. It felt intuitive, it felt good. I actually did, the only knitting workshop I've ever taken was an intarsia class at Knit Club in Providence, Rhode Island with Deegan. That was an awesome class. I feel lucky that I got to do that. Providence is not very far from Boston, so it was a very easy trip. So I do have a pretty good understanding of how intarsia works, and that I took well over a year ago, I'd say. But I have not done any intarsia knitting projects since then. So this would be my first intarsia project, but I think it lends itself well to this project. Now, what I was talking about before about there being an easy way and a hard way, I could just knit this way, let's say, 10 to 15 rows of the color brown, and then switch to blue, knit 10 to 15 rows of blue, and then I could just turn the whole piece and still have a vertical stripe pillow. But then the stitches would be going the other way. They'd be going horizontal instead of vertical. So I just really want the vertical stripe, and I just think this is going to work. Now, also with intarsia, you need bobbins of yarn, basically, because you're not doing stranded color work. For each color, you need a separate ball of yarn that you kind of pick up as you knit. This is not an intarsia tutorial. As I said, this is the first time I'm doing it, so bear with me. I might not be explaining it in the best way. I actually think this is going to work perfectly where each 50-gram ball is a bobbin. Like, I don't think I need to make bobbins. I think this ball of yarn is the bobbin. And I have 5 of each color, so I have maximum 10 stripes width-wise, I don't think I'm gonna need that many. So from this swatch, I'm getting about 8 stitches per 2 inches. So that's how I'm gonna base my gauge off of that. Maybe I could have made a larger swatch. 4 inches seems to be the standard swatch size, but I think this is good enough. I'm gonna go with this. 8 stitches per 2 inches. I have to do some math. So I guess what's next is I need to measure the size of this pillow because it is a pretty good size. I'm pretty sure it's like nearly 20 inches. And then I think I will want negative ease to cinch the pillow in. So I did actually, talking about knitting pillows, I have knit a pillow. This one I knit. This is an amazing pattern by Laura Penrose. It is the Stella Quilt Cushion. Fantastic pattern, highly recommend it. And you can see I ran out of the color yarn I was doing, and it doesn't matter, you don't see the back. I just started switching to scrap yarn, but I like that, well, 2 things I'm going to talk about. I like that this design has this cover on the top, so I can take the insert out and, wash the case itself. That's pretty cool, and I think I will try to do that for this self-drafted version, but I do think my gauge was a little bit off. Like, I think I could have less ease on this pillowcase. There's definitely some room. I guess it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And then also this is garter stitch. I'm going to do, intarsia stockinette, so there's probably a little bit less stretch happening. See, this is like very stretchy, this pillowcase. So yeah, those are kind of the things I'm thinking about with designing this pillowcase. So far, this test has been fantastic, and I'm really excited to create this project. I'm excited to bring you with me. Let's do some math, and then let's cast on. I have gotten so much done, and I'm here to catch you up, because wow. Also, I don't like how my hair is being today. I didn't really look in the mirror before I came to the studio, so we're just working with what we got. Okay, this is what I have done. So I got the whole front panel done. Let me talk you through how that went. So I did my math completely wrong at the beginning. So my gauge was, with 8 stitches, I got 2 inches of width. And I was aiming to create this piece of fabric to be 20 inches wide. So when I did the math, I was like, oh, 8 times 20, that will give me the amount of stitches. Because I was thinking of 8 as the unit for an inch, but it was double. So that was completely wrong. My math was completely wrong. I just glitched and whatever. So that gave me the number 160. So I cast on 160 stitches, held it up to my pillow, clearly way off. It was way too big. I hadn't figured out what I had done wrong. I just was like, why isn't the math working? Like, this is correct. It's not. So then I just decided to wing it, and I cast on some other number, maybe like 120. That was still wrong. Then I did like 100, still wrong. Then I did 80, perfect. And then I went back to check my math and was like, okay, 80 feels right. Why is that? And then it's like, well, yeah, that was the correct number in the first place. It should have been 4 times 20, which gives you 80. And that would give me 20 inches. And then I also included 2 edge stitches because I will be picking up stitches along the edge, so I want to account for that. So I ended up casting on 82 stitches. So if we don't include the edge stitches, so just working with 80, then I just divided each stripe into 10 stitches. So I have 8 stripes of 10 stitches. That's where I landed, and I'm really happy with it. Intarsia was pretty easy to do. So if you look at the back, you can kind of see this is what intarsia looks like in the back. Pretty straightforward. You just sort of like twist your 2 colors of yarn together so they kind of get locked in place. For the length, I just held it up to the pillow and stopped when it felt right. I am most likely not going to block this. I did block my swatch, but I really don't think it significantly changed. So, okay, next I need to weave in the ends. I'm going to start the back, and I think I will start the back by picking up along this bottom edge and then continuing the intarsia stripes while picking up along the sides. And I'm probably going to go 3/4 of the way down or up, whichever direction makes sense. I'm going to go 3/4 the full length, and then I will cast off, and then I'm going to do the same thing at the top going down and go maybe more than 1/4. So I want some overlap. Basically, that will create like a flap in the back to be able to insert a pillow, because I want to be able to take it on and off. That's the plan. I've got a lot more knitting to do, but I'm really happy with how it's coming out, and I'll check in with you in a bit. Hello. So I've made so much progress on this pillow, and I'm excited to share it with you. I'm not done yet, but it's another good check-in point. Also, we're rocking the prescription sunnies. I forgot my regular glasses. Okay, so yeah, the whole front panel is done. You've already seen that. And this is what the back looks like. Picked up along the bottom and then knit up again with intarsia stripes going up, while also picking up along the sides, so it's fully contained, and the stripes are kind of seamless on either side because there's an odd number of stripes, so it just keeps going. Then I did the same thing from the top going down, but I wanted to have the stripes go the other way. So this time I'm just knitting regular stripes. So I'm just knitting, I think they're like 14 row stripes roughly. So I'm not doing intarsia for that section. And again, I picked up along the sides, and then I continued to pick up along the sides while overlapping. There's about a 2 to 3 inch overlap from this bottom panel and the top panel, so that when I put the pillow in here, it'll be fully enclosed and you should not see the pillow. So it is rolling a bit because it's just, you know, stockinette and it likes to do that. But I think when it's, I'm not gonna block it. I don't feel like it, and I don't really have the time to. But yeah, I think when it's on the pillow, it'll kind of be stretched, and I think that will stop it from rolling. The reason I am not done yet, I'm gonna hold the mic. I just think it always sounds better this way. The reason I'm not done yet is because I would like to do some I-cord edge details. So I'm gonna do it along this, along the opening, and then I wanna do it around the entire perimeter of the pillow, the entire edge. I think I'm gonna do it with the blue. Well, I think it'll be brown here. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have unclipped yet. So I will do a brown I-cord edge along this because this is blue and I want the contrast. And then it could go either way along this border because I have both colors everywhere. But I think I'm gonna do the blue because it'll go on my green couch. I have this green couch. We're in my studio right now, and then I also, in my apartment, I have a darker green couch, and either way, I think the blue will pop more than the brown wherever I end up having this pillow live. So that's the plan, but I'm super happy. Yeah, it's like my vision is coming to life. It's crazy. So far, I don't have any huge things I would change with this, but I will let you know at the end of the video if I have any conclusions. And then I'm doing great on yarn. So I had 12 balls. I have 2 left. These I actually have dipped into both of these a little bit, and this is plenty to do some I-cord edging. So I got the perfect amount of yarn, which feels like a win because I fully guessed. So quite happy about that. And then this is in my little bag. I sell these in my shop. It says, "Wish I was knitting," and then you can customize it if you want. I do chain stitch embroidery. A lot of people get their Instagram handle because I think, you know, if you're at like a knitting circle, knitting meetup, or maybe you're at a sheep and wool festival, it's like really easy to share your info. So anyways, that's a little plug for my shop. I also wanted to show you real quick in this video, I reorganized my studio and it feels so much better. I didn't realize how much the space was stressing me out because it just wasn't organized. When I work, I tend to be pretty chaotic and just like throw stuff wherever. And then, you know, 6 months later, I'm like, why am I so stressed to be in here? So yeah, I wanted to quickly show you some updates I did. So basically, these are just like, I don't know, IKEA storage bins, whatever. I have them along this whole wall, basically. You can't even see it all, but it's like going across the whole wall. And I moved one from over there to over here. Now I have all my yarn over here. Well, this is like tufting yarn. I don't use this for knitting, but I do rug tufting as well. I haven't done it in a really long time, but I still have all the supplies. Some of it's for chain stitch as well. But that's been really nice because it gave me another ledge, so I was able to move this beautiful plant over here. That plant used to be blocking, there's like big windows over here. It used to block the window. I was really happy in the window, it got lots of light, but it feels so nice to have it unobstructed now, and it's still very close to the window, so I think it will be perfectly happy. This is one of my favorite plants. I do keep it turned towards the light because otherwise it'll just turn that way anyways. And then yeah, this plant is getting huge. It's also dusty. And then yeah, let me show you the sewing section real quick. I don't know if this is the best angle. I might bring you closer, but this is that wall I was just talking about. This is my like sewing station. And this was really cluttered before. And I had a lot of old projects that I had put down and never picked back up. I just got rid of them. I needed them off my plate, and that feels so much better. I have mental clarity since doing that. And then I brought the mirror over. You're too far away. Let me bring you closer. Okay, I think that is better. So yeah, this is my sewing station. And then I reorganized. Oh, I also moved all my fabric. So that was another thing. Another reason why I wanted to move stuff over was some of my fabric was starting to get bleached by the sun, by the windows. So they're all the way over here now. I have all the fabric here, and then I have a little bit more on this side of the mirror, which I don't know if you're in frame. This just feels so much better. I even like hung up some of my quilt blocks. They deserve to be hung up because they do look quite nice. And then now with this mirror, hello, you know, when I sew something and try it on, then I can go in the mirror, or I don't know, I could check out my outfit, which has been quite nice. I think I will use this a lot more over here. Okay, let me scoot you over one more time. So yeah, as I was saying, I have a little bit more fabric over here. I put all of my books over here. These are a mix of lettering, sewing, quilting, tufting, and some just like vintage books that I find inspiring, as well as my zine collection. And then this ledge, I store my hats. My inventory is very low at the moment. I have a bunch of blanks behind you that I need to get stitch in, but yeah, this is where I keep that inventory. And then I keep forgetting, but I have a really nice plant to bring in from home that will go here. Just a pothos that I think will look nice, like vining down. I want it to trail down. That's all. I just wanted to show you that really quick. I feel so much better about the space, and I'm almost done with the pillow. So let's get to it. It's finished. I am so happy with how this came out. So, of course, I'm going to share some thoughts with you about this process. Number one, I think I did well with this. This is pretty spot on to what my vision was for this project. So I feel very thankful for that. This was a great sort of first project to dip my toes into for self-drafting, because I was just fitting this to a pillow and not like a body that is more complicated. So very pleased with that. Things that maybe could have improvements. Well, number one, I probably should block this because it's stuck in net, this does want to roll. I think this is probably the natural state that this back wants to stay at, which, you know, it's the back, it's not that important, but I do know if I blocked this and sort of pinned it down, it would probably stay a bit better. But maybe I could do like a quick steam or something instead. I am very happy with the alternating stripes. I think that looks pretty sharp. I think actually something I would change potentially is, so I have 8 stripes going across, so I have an even number. I think if it was an odd number, then both sides would be the same. So for example, I would probably make it so that the brown was on both edges. because I really like how this looks with the blue I-cord edge. Whereas on this side with the blue I-cord edge, it is a bit more hidden. I don't know, I'm just getting a little nitpicky, but I think that's something I would consider if I were to do this again. I am very happy with this I-cord edge. So I went a needle size down. I did 4.5 millimeter, whereas the rest of this is 5.5 millimeter. And it is a 3-stitch I-cord edge. And for the corners, I did 3 rounds of I-cord in the same hole, basically, to kind of give a nice corner, if that makes sense. So I made it so that the I-cord looks the cleanest from the front. I think it looks quite clean actually from the front, whereas the back, you can definitely see a little bit, like over here for sure. You can just see some of the stitches a bit more. This side's not so bad. I think maybe when I was picking up side stitches, it just wasn't as clean on this side, or maybe it's because of the color. Maybe the blue is showing the picked up edge more than the brown. I don't quite know why that's happening. Another thought, I guess, for the back is maybe if I made like a button. That could have been cute if I did a buttonhole, but I'd have to plan more ahead for that. Maybe 3. 1, 2, 3. That could be cute if I were to try this again. That could be a fun idea. If you have any suggestions on how I could have improved this, please let me know. But you have to be nice to me because I'm a fragile Pisces, okay? The yarn feels great. It is very soft, very easy to work with. So again, the yarn was the Mary Merino 70 by KREMKE yarns, and that was kindly gifted to me by Kelburn Woolens. I'm very thankful for that. I am an affiliate of Kelburn Woolens. I will have my link linked below if you feel like checking out their yarn and the different brands they stock. I will have all my notes on Ravelry if you want to try knitting your own pillow, or just, ask me questions, comment below. You can comment on Ravelry. I will be trying to be as helpful as possible. If you're interested in knitting this as well, I don't know, but I had a lot of fun and I'm very thankful for this experience. So yeah, I think I am going to bring this home though. I'm going to have this styled in my apartment, even though it looks so good on this couch as well. That's my plan. This is my first time doing a dedicated project vlog, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!